Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the clutch and brake lever on your SMC R390. This same procedure goes for the 125 and also all the other models with the same chassis, so Adventure R, Adventure X, Enduro R. Today specifically I'm going to install AliExpress levers. They are really good, especially for the price you get them. You really can't beat that. This tutorial will also help you if you're installing any other levers, because the general procedure is just the same. So let's get into it.
Let's start with the brake lever. First, remove the locking nut from the bottom. Then, from the top, unscrew the pivot bolt that holds the lever in place. Pay attention to the spring.
This next step is only necessary if you're installing the original power part lever or one of these AliExpress levers. You will need to press this small centering bushing out of the original lever and move it to the other one. There are several ways you can do this, but today I'll show you some of the easiest methods using common tools. You can use a 1/4 inch 4mm socket and a larger 1/2 inch 13mm socket, and press the bushing out using a vise as I'm showing you here. So you just put in the small socket. I will remove the spring to move it to the other one. And you just put the other socket on the other side and just press it out. Just one small detail here. When you are pressing it out, do it always from the bottom to the top. So this is how it sits on the bike. We will put the small 1/4 inch from the bottom and the 13mm from the top. We can put it inside the vise and just clamp it down, and the small one will push the bushing out inside the bigger socket. Really simple. So as you can see, using this method, you will just push it out all the way. I stopped because I want to show you another method. If you don't have a vise or this kind of sockets, you can use a centering punch. You put it in and you just tap out the bushing and it will come out really easily. Or if you have a 3D printer, I designed a simple tool that is made especially for this bushing. So you just put the tool in, this on the other side, you put them inside the press or a vise, and it will work perfectly. This is made out of simple PLA, nothing crazy, it works really nice. This is it. I have removed the bushing, and the tool I designed remains in place and keeps this part from jumping out because there is a small spring inside. Now that we have removed the bushing, we need to transfer it to the new lever. Using just a little bit of grease, we are going to lube it up. On these AliExpress levers, the tolerances are very good, so I don't need to use any tools. The bushing simply slides into position. The tolerances may be tighter on other levers, so you may need to press it in using the same method that we used to remove it. That's it. Next step is to transfer the spring. The lever is ready, but before installing it, use the same lube here to lube it up a little bit, and same thing on the other side.
Clean any grease residues.
Apply a little bit of grease to the brake cylinder, a little bit of grease to the pivot area. Then we want to apply a little bit of grease inside. Then, paying attention that the cylinder is centered and the spring is also centered.
Lightly lubricate the pivot bolt and thread it in from the top. After that, hold the bolt in position and install the locking nut from the bottom. Don't go crazy when tightening it. Be gentle, because these are relatively small threads. Check that the lever operates smoothly and that it does not bind, stick or lock in position. That's it for the brake lever. Now let's move on the clutch lever. First, use a 12mm and a 14mm wrench to loosen the two nuts used to adjust the clutch cable free play. Then loosen the adjuster as I'm showing you here. We can now push the cable inward and easily remove it from the bracket. This small step will make our lives much easier when replacing the clutch lever. Let's move up to the lever itself. Take a Phillips screwdriver and remove the two screws holding the clutch switch in position. Carefully pull the switch out and move it to the side. Pull back this rubber cover. Now take a large Phillips screwdriver and an 8mm wrench. Remove the locking nut from underneath and then unscrew the pivot bolt itself. Carefully pull the lever out, rotate it, and remove the clutch cable from the lever. Clean any grease residues. Now take the new clutch lever and apply a small amount of grease to the pivot area. Insert the clutch cable into the lever and position the lever inside the mount. Lightly lubricate the pivot bolt and screw it into place. Then reinstall the locking nut underneath. Don't go crazy when tightening it. Be gentle, because these are relatively small threads. Check that the lever moves freely and then reinstall the clutch switch. Now let's move back down. To the engine, reinstall the clutch cable and adjust the clutch free play.
Okay guys, now we want to adjust the free play of the clutch lever. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this nut, and at the same time I'm going to use the fingers on the lever itself, and I'm checking for this free play. This is too much at the moment, this is too much free play, so we want to move down to the nut itself, and I want to tighten it a little bit. And at the same time I'm playing with my finger. Something like that. This is still a little bit too much. I'll move down and I'll lock the nut a little bit more while playing at the same time with the finger. And this looks nice. This is a very important step, because if you set it up incorrectly, especially if it's too tight, you will burn up the clutch really fast. So take your time, do it properly. For finer adjustments, you can use the adjuster here.
Once the free play is correctly adjusted, you can tighten the two locking nuts.
Here is a small tip, because I have seen this question come up many times on Facebook groups. Yes, both nuts are supposed to be positioned on the same side of the bracket. The cable itself needs to have a small amount of movement inside the bracket. Installing one nut on each side may still work, but that is not how the system was designed to be assembled. This bike uses relatively large tolerances in this area, so having both nuts on the same side allows the cable to move as intended. As you can see now. You can see it moving inside the bracket. And this is how it's supposed to be. Once everything is adjusted correctly, you can pull the rubber cover back. One final note about these AliExpress levers. Mine arrived installed incorrectly. The orange part was switched over. The clutch on the brake side and the brake on the clutch side. They don't work that way. The ergonomics and the shapes are totally off. To fix that, you will need to undo one bolt on each side, remove this orange part and just swap them over. Pay attention because inside they have some small shims and it's really easy to lose them. So take your time, check where every shim goes, and when you are reinstalling them, put some Loctite on the bolt itself. This is probably some Chinese quality control issue. That's it, guys. I've been using these levers for quite a while now and they look really good, they feel really good, so I can definitely recommend them. Thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on because some really cool videos are coming soon and you definitely don't want to miss them out. Ride safe, see you soon, bye, ciao.